Okay, I think we can get started. Um, Before, maybe a couple of people are joining in late. Let's talk a little bit about JDoodle. For those of you who don't know, JDoodle is an AI-powered coding platform. We serve about 1 million monthly users, and we have a growing community of about 25 million, which is huge. And just a couple of months back, we launched JDroid AI, which is our AI tool. You'll find it in our IDE on the JDoodle website. So if you haven't tried it out, please be sure to try it out, and you can let us know your feedback. Other than that, we also support 88 plus languages, and we have, for most of you all, actually probably don't know about the JDoodle mobile app, which has some great capabilities that we will be taking you through today. Before we move forward, if you guys have any questions regarding this webinar on the mobile app or JDoodle platform, you can just directly post it on our Discord channel. I will be sharing the link right now. So any questions you have, whether now or even later while using the app or while using the JDoodle platform, you can just post it on Discord. Our whole team is on there, so anybody and everybody will respond to you immediately. Okay, so let's move forward to the speaker of today. Now, he is Nicholas Randall. He is the backbone of the JDoodle mobile app. He's a software engineer here at JDoodle with like massive experience in technologies and frameworks, Java, HTML, React, and Flutter. And he will be taking you through the JDoodle mobile app while building an app, which is pretty cool. Okay, so hope you guys really like the webinar. Again, any questions during the webinar or even after, you can post it on our Discord channel. So Nick, over to you.
Thank you very much, Melvi. Yeah, that's right. My name's Nick Randall. I am the developer for the mobile app at JDoodle, and very excited to present some of the features of JDoodle mobile app today. As Melvi just said, we've just kind of fairly recently moved to AI first, so we've got a lot of focus on coding using AI, which I'm going to be able to show today, which is I'm pretty excited to do because it actually makes creating a project like this much faster, especially on a mobile app where it's sometimes typing code. The other text editing kind of challenges are much greater because you don't have a keyboard and things like that, and you've got a small screen. So I'm just going to jump into it and show the mobile app. So you should be able to see my phone now. This is my iPhone that I'm just going to be working on today. I just want to quickly show you that you can get the JDoodle mobile app in the App Store. Just search for JDoodle. Melvi will send you a link at the end too, but you'll see it there, JDoodle Code Compiler. And that's it there for download. Okay, so I'm actually using a version today that it will be coming out hopefully next week. This has all the AI features. If you download it today, you won't see them. I'm just a warning. But today we're going to be using the version that will be hopefully dropping early next week with all these AI features that make it so much better. Okay, so let's have a look. When you open up the mobile app, this is what you see. So this is all new. This down the bottom here, you see the AI jump out at you and basically ask you what kind of project you want to build. You can go ahead and already select a language and type in what kind of project you want to build. But I'm not going to do that just yet because we'll be using that a lot later on. So I just want to show you, if you just want to jump into JDoodle and start using it, it's extremely fast to begin with, which I think is a huge strength of our app. So there's a little hint there to let you know that you can, change the font size of the text using like a pinch motion, so 2 fingers, like you would zoom into a picture. Now, what I want to quickly show you is that, just do that and that. So as Melvi mentioned, we have over 80, I think it's over 88 languages. It's always growing, which any code you want to compile in any of those languages will work. So I don't think there's any other app out there that does that many. here you see like a list of them. So if I just jump into Python, you'll see there's a couple of options. You can choose a version, and there's this thing, basic or advanced IDE, which I'll talk about later. But if we just jump into a basic Python program, you can just hit play. This will be compiled and you get the results straight away. So let's try out some AI though, and get a slightly more complicated script. So let's just say ask for some user input. User input. Well, let's ask for username and print hello plus name. Okay, so I'm coding on my phone. I don't know if you can tell that. That's why I'm looking down the whole time. So let's try it out. Ask username, print hello plus name. Let's see what our AI bot answers. So he's come up with a simple program. He's got a little explanation, he or she, I don't know what gender the bot is. So in this program, the input got a little explanation for you, but up here is the actual code. So I'm just going to hit insert, and you'll see that's now my program. So it's got a very simple program, but let's just hit run. Now it won't actually work. The reason being, JDoodle can run in two modes. One is interactive mode and the other is non-interactive mode. Now, since we're asking for user input here, we're saying, can you please enter your name? It will only work if we're in interactive mode. So I'll switch it over. And here we go. So I'm just going to type in my name. Oops. See if this works. Hello, Nick. Okay, so that was just a really quick demonstration. I now actually want to build a full project. We'll see how far we get. I'd like to be able to show off a few of the features. So we're going to be building a guess the word game. So I'm sure you've played this before. The computer thinks of a word. You have to guess one letter at a time. And then you see down the bottom which letters have been guessed and which haven't yet. And when you run out of guesses, the game's over, or you can win by guessing all of the letters. So this is how we're going to run it. And we're going to be, like I said, using a lot of AI in it. It sure makes it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and just start ourselves a new project. Now this time I'm going to be making this project in Java. And I'm going to choose the advanced IDE to begin with. Now, what this gives you apart from what we had before is, okay, so it's actually asking me to log in. So if you want to use the advanced IDE, you do have to log in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, you will normally have to go through a login flow. So let's see, is it going to ask me to do that? It is. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. Okay. So it hasn't. You may need to put in your email or whatever, but you'll basically get to this page here, and that means you've been successfully logged in. Then we just hit Open App, and open up the top here, and that'll jump us back into the app. And cool, now we're logged in. All right. So now I'm going to choose this advanced IDE. So what this gets, apart from what you get with a basic, is you also get down the bottom here. You see the this little tab. Now that is our project structure. And so with the advanced IDE, which is available at the moment in about 12 languages, you get a full project structure. So you can, create, create other files and just check that everything's working. Looks like it. Okay, so right, we can have multiple files. that means what I'll go ahead and do is I'll set up our game model as I mentioned before. So basically, I'm going to start by just kind of doing a basic outline of what is involved in this model class, in this game class. And then I'm going to ask the AI to help us out to fill in some of the, things we just don't want to type in. So let's have a look. All right, so we're making a game where you need to guess. So the first kind of variable I want to have is the total number of guesses. Okay, so this is the number of times the user can guess before the game's over. And the other thing I want to have is the actual word that they're trying to guess. They won't know that, of course, but the program will know it. And then I want to keep tabs on their guesses so far. So I'm just going to have a Java list here. And I'm going to call this guesses. All right, so this is just going to be a list of letters. And I'll go ahead and just initialize that variable. Okay, so cool. So much for writing. All right, now let's see if the AI can help us out here in filling in some of the details. Let's say we want, just going to paste in the code I've already written. And now we might say, create constructor getters and setters for this class. Okay, let's see what it does. It's thinking. Okay, let's see how well it did with this. Now, AI is always interesting to work with. I think you would all know. It thinks a little bit different to the way we do. It does done really well with this though. So because it's final, because total number of guesses is final, it's given me a get total number of, but it hasn't given me a set, which is exactly what we want for a final variable. Guesses is also not is also automatically initialized, so it's not given us a. It has given us a get and set guesses, and get total number of guesses. So that's pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit insert, and there's our class, kind of the beginnings of our class all set up. So let's just check this out and see if it's all working. So yep, it's all there. So I'm going to go ahead and just instantiate a game, and we shall see if that worked. So we had in the constructor, we had to pass in, I believe, was it number of guesses, I believe, and a word. So I'm going to pass in, let's say, 8 guesses, and the word will make, let's start with cat. Okay, so in this print statement, I'm just going to ask it to print game dot get word. Okay, let's see if this works. All right, I'm gonna hit play. See how we go. Okay, it's all working. Nice. All right, so what else do we want to do? All right, now we want to get the program to come up with a random word. So I'm going to, again, ask our friendly AI to do this. So let's see how we go. So what I want is a list, list of, well, let's say a Java list. It pays to be precise when you're talking to AI. A Java list of, let's say, animals. Java list of animals. Try this out, see what happens. Okay, it's created a new class for us, and that's okay. So it's kind of creating, it's just going to create a bunch and print them out. I don't like it that much though. I think I want, what I really want is to just have a method that gets us, that returns an animal name at random. Let's try that. Okay. Save some of the work, us doing all the work. Yeah, it's a bit more like it. Okay, so cool. So with this one, it's got a little explanation for it. It's using the random method, which is what we wanted. Selecting a animal name based on the length. It's using arrays. Yep, that'll do for our purpose. So I'm just going to close this here. I'm going to create a new class called animal name. And check it's all there. So now let's insert that. Okay. Just need to change the class name to be animal name. Alrighty. Let's see how we go now. Back to our main method. Let's try. Oops. Sometimes tricky to select with this stuff. It's something we're working on. New ways to select an input text. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paste. By the way, we love feedback. I really want to hear what you guys think. So if you have suggestions for the app, if you have critique, just let me know. Melvie will be providing you with my email address. Okay, so what we don't want game, we want to instantiate an animal name. I'm just going to call it animal equals new animal. Oops. And we're going to now go and use that method, animal dot, I forget what it's called. I'm going to go have a look. It's called get random animal. Oh, okay, so it's a static method, so we don't actually have to instantiate it. Yeah, let's just go with that. So I'm just going to go ahead. So I'm just flicking the, rotating the device. That gives me a little bit of extra typing space in the horizontal axis. That can be handy. So what I'll do now is animal equals, no, we're going to call it a string animal. Oops. String animal. Nope, that's not what I wanted. There. Equals animal name. So it's static, so we can just call dot get random animal. Okay. Now, let's see if this works. So try it out. Great. Okay, so obviously we want that to be the animal that the program is going to be using as the word we have to guess, the user has to guess. So I'm gonna flip back over. I'm gonna get that line here, and we're no longer going to be opening instantiating the game with cat. We're going to be, when we construct it, using that animal name. Okay, and so it'll still do the same thing. We don't need to print out the animal name anymore because it should be the same. So we're creating a game, and in that game, we're saying 8 guesses is the maximum number of guesses, plus the animal will be a random one from that list. So it should, yep. All right, so awesome. All right, so we've covered in our little setup here, we've covered set up game model and get a random word. Now I think we need to add a few methods to the game model. So let's see how helpful the AI can be for us in this situation. So these are the methods that I want to add over here. Player 1 game. So we want to know, did the player win? Is the game over? And then we need a method to print the spaces, like these spaces down here. We need a method called guess, which basically every time the player makes a guess, we want it to go into the game object and update what's going on here. So we want a guess method that will basically create, it'll update, it'll add a letter to the number of to the list of guesses they've got at the top here. And it should also maybe return whether that was a letter in the word they're trying to guess. And I thought it'd be helpful just to have a is the letter in the word method and get guesses left method, because that'll just help us out, just sort of like helper functions. So I think I'm gonna try and see how good the AI is with this guess method. So guess method. So what did I say I want it to do? We want it to well, the guess method should add a letter to the guesses list, and it should return whether that guess, that letter is in the word. So I think what I will do is actually start with this get or this method that's called is the letter in the word, because that's just going to help us a lot, I think. So let's call this is letter in word. Okay, spell it right. And so let's take a string here. Oopsie. Come on, string. and we'll call it L for letter. And what we're going to do is say, first add it to the guesses, the list of guesses, and dunk, nice, and then it's going to return whether that letter is in the word or not. Okay, so wait a minute, I'm getting myself confused here. We don't want that for that method. All we want for the is letter in word method is whether the letters of our word contains this letter. So let's go ahead and do, how would we get the letters of the word? We would to get the letters of the word, we would use a class called arrays, which we'll need to import in a second. Arrays dot as list. Oops. Get word. Okay. And then we use a method called split, which is going to split our word into a list of letters, and that should be it. So return arrays. So okay, so now we've got this sort of helper function, is letter in word, and it's going to take a string, one letter, and it's going to check whether well, wait a minute, that's just going to, first of all, that's just going to get us a list of letters. So hang on. Say letters in word is that. And okay, there's arrays as list. Okay, cool. So now we're going to return whether our letter L contains whether letters in word contains our new letter that we've guessing. Okay, contains L. All right, so now obviously Java is a language where you need to type a lot, so it does make it a little trickier, but I wanted to set myself a challenge. Also, I'm not a Java developer, so this is so bear with me. So everything should still work. If there's an error, which there is, then we can expected. So I think I don't know the problem. So I don't fully get this error message. So what I'm going to do is just hit explain problem. That's also going to talk to the AI, and it'll look at the error message, it'll look at our code, and it will suggest a fix. It'll also give us an explanation of what's wrong. It's missing a semicolon at the end of the line where the list of the letters in the word is created. The corrected code as follows. I can just take this and just paste over it. Oops. Try that. It's happy now. Great. So there's no errors, but I do want to check that method real quick. And before I do anything, I'm going to save this. So come over here. You can save in your device if you're doing a basic project. If it's an advanced IDE project, you can only save in jdoodle.com. So you give it a name. I'm going to call it guessing game. And Let's save now. So if I go to my projects in JDoodle, you see it's at the top here. All right, so what were we up to? We were, oh, by the way, the AI also added this here, this arrays method, like this arrays import statement, which is awesome because we didn't have to do it. So we just wanted to test this isLetterInWord method. So I'm going to go back to our main class here, and what I want to do is say we're going to keep this statement where we're printing the animal name, like the word. So keep this, but I'm going to duplicate it, copy and paste it, because we also want to know, does a particular letter, let's say is letter in word, and we might use, say, the letter A, and it should print whether it's in there or not. So it should print the animal name and then whether the letter A is in there. Again, we have an issue. I think I'm missing a bracket, closing bracket. Let's add that back in. Okay, have another go. Great, so letter A is in zebra, so that seems to be correct. Let's run it again, see what happens. The letter A is not in dog, and we got false. So that's awesome. That method is working. How exciting. So let's see what else we still have to do. Some of these can be done pretty quickly. So I wonder though, let's give AI the challenge. Again, let's select everything. See if it can figure this out. So the logic, oops, I didn't mean to press that. The logic for whether we won the game or not should be as simple as we won the game if all of the letters in the word we're trying to get, if the user has guessed every single letter in the word, then the player should have won. So let's see if I can figure that logic out. Otherwise we have to write it ourselves. Well, let's see what the AI does with this. So create a method called did player win. Let's call it has player won. Has player won that, well, and let's just see what it does. What does it think the I think it figured it out. Look at this. So it says the method works by splitting the word into an array of letters and then checking if each letter in the word has been guessed. That's exactly what it should do. If any letter is not in the list of guesses, the method returns false, indicating the player is not won yet. If all of the letters in the word have been guessed, the method returns true. How good is that? So that is very cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that, and let's add it to our game model. Boolean has player one, word array equals get word.split. Okay, so here it's not even using the arrays class, it's just using like a array literal. So for string letter word array, if get guesses.contains letter return false. So if it's not in the guessed letters, no, sorry, if the letters does not, if there's one of them is not in the, if one of the letters is not in the word that we've guessed, then it returns false. Okay, cool. So we've got that method. So we're getting through this. Player one, game over. So game over, I'm just going to write that. That's super simple. Game over is nothing other than I'm actually not going to call it game over because that's a bit misleading. I'm going to call it has player lost. So because game over doesn't tell you whether they won or not. So has player lost, and this is going to just be like return get guesses dot size, because remember it's a list, so get size is the dot size is the method for getting the length of a list. Okay, so if the number of letters is the same as total number of guesses, then we should be happy, because if they've guessed 8 letters and they had 8 guesses, then the game should be over. All right, so let's see. It's always a good way to just check your code, just compile it and see what happens. It has no, I haven't given a return. It had no problem, by the way, with the hasPlayer1 method, so that's good news. So let's try this now with a Boolean. Yep, okay, so our code is error-free. That's always a bonus. I'm just going to save it. One cool thing with JDoodle, once you've saved this project, and I will do this at the end, I can create a share link, and if I hit share, in fact, I'll do it. It creates this URL. Now I can send this out to you guys, and it isn't a feature in the app yet, but it's coming. But you can take this share URL and open up this project that I'm building here on JDoodle web. So if you go to a website, if you go to your browser and put this in, it'll come up with this exact project. All right, so we're getting there. We're not too far off. Got about 15 minutes left, so we'll see if we can get it done in time. So we've got our player 1 method, we've got our game over or player lost. Print spaces, this is pretty important. So again, this is like these spaces down here. So we're going to have to basically create a for loop. We're going to iterate over each letter of the word, and then if the user has guessed one of those letters, it should display the letter. If not, it should display a little underscore like here. So I'm just going to go ahead and write this, type it out. By the way, we've got down here this little magic wand here. This is currently only for Java, but you see it cleans up the code, which is very nice because can be annoying on a phone. So I'm working hard to get that for every major language and eventually every single language, this sort of code beautify, auto format. And currently, next release, I'm going to put it in for Java, and then hopefully for JavaScript and a few of the major languages as we go on. So I'm going to call this method print spaces, and it's going to draw that little visual thing for the user, and we're going to have to now iterate over as I said before, I love to hear feedback. I really do, even if it's negative. But I love to hear, what do you want? What is important to you? I've got my ideas. The company, we have, JDoodle and my colleagues, we have our ideas about what is important to make, coding on a mobile device better. But if you have your own ideas, that's what we want to hear, because you're the users. So let us know. Okay, where have we got here? So again, we're just checking here. We do have a is letter in Word. Is letter in Word method. Can we use that here? Don't think so. All right. So we need to check. So for each letter in the word they're trying to guess, we have to do if guesses contains if. Right. So if get guesses. So if they so the letter it's printing out, it should only print it out if among their guessed letters, this one is among them. So in that case, we want to print like so. Yeah, there is a lot of jumping around, trying to code something like this. Obviously, it is a challenge when you don't have a proper keyboard. So that's one thing that I want to be releasing too, is something a little bit better than this black thing up here, so that these letters these special characters are available more easily. If you have thoughts about that, please let me know. Okay, so all right, we're just adding an empty string. We actually want a space. There we go. Okay, so we're almost there. So else, and then we're going to say spaces plus equals. Then if they've not guessed this letter yet, then we want to display the underscore. All right, I'm just going to run it. Oh, wait, no, we need to return a string. So return spaces. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay, we're not getting any errors, which is lovely. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the next method. We're almost done with these, and we're pretty close to having it all done. So what do we have? We have has player lost, has player won, is letter in Word. Get guesses left. I'm gonna really quickly do get public. We'll go get. It's going to be an int, the number of guesses left, and this is obviously just going to be the number of maximum, the total number of guesses, I think we called it. And then say minus the length, the size of the what's it called? Guesses list. All right. Okay. So did that work? Yep. Get guesses dot size. Wonderful. And all right, let's see if we're happy. Are we happy? Are we compiling? We are compiling. All right, that's lovely. So I'm going to hit the cleanup thing, and look at that. We've even got a nice clean Look at that beautiful, beautiful class. So I'm going to go ahead and save. All right, cool. Can we finish it up in like 10 minutes? That's the challenge. What we might really quickly do is create this guess method, and then I think we'll test out how it works on in the main class. Okay, so we're going to do this one. I'm going to call it guess, and this is going to do two things. It's going to take the guess, the letter, and it's going to return not a string but a Boolean, whether that guess was correct or not. So it's going to that way handle. We'll be able to use that from the main method. So I need to give it a string. Again, we'll call it L. So that way we can call it from the main method, and then we can say, okay, guess this dot add. Then we can say, this is their guess. It will add it to the list. It'll also return a Boolean. Then we can give the user some feedback, like, oh, that was in the word, or it wasn't. You just, poor you got the wrong guess. So can we use our method now? Is letter in word. Yeah, there it is. There is letter in word. Look at that. Is letter in word L, and finished. So clean her up. Yep. Just gonna check it compiles. Excellent. Beautiful. So now we should be able to do like a mini test by saying, oh, this also needs to be cleaned up. Thank you. By doing this, we're going to say, we're not going to call is letter in word, we're going to call guess. So guess A, and after that, we're going to say, tell us, we're going to ask it to print out the lines, and we can see how well we did with our guess. So guess game dot print, isn't it called print lines, I think? All right, here we go. Will it work? No, it will not. Looks like we're missing a bracket. Add another bracket. Try again. Cannot find similar. Apparently it's not called print lines. Maybe it's called draw lines. I can't remember what I called it. We called it print spaces. Okay. Oops, not the game. We want main class print spaces. Okay. Put up. Still not happy. One more bracket. Bang. All right. Fingers crossed. Nice. All right. So Hippo, what was the letter we guessed? We guessed A up here. Obviously, currently we're not letting the user do any input. We're just providing the letter that they would have guessed. Okay, cat, true. So check it out. Looking nice. So we've got the letter C is not in there, so we get a dash. The letter A is, and that's why it's displayed there as an A. That is cool. So we can kind of already start to code this, the actual kind of game loop, you might call it. And we would do that this way. Now, I don't want to type all this, so I'm going to ask the AI to do it for me. Get user Oops, user input. Let's just see what it does with get user input. Hopefully it will do like import the scanner class for us, and it did. And you know, it's just stuff that I don't want to type, so AI will do it for me. So 2 versions. Why? They look exactly the same to me. It's got scanner.close here. That's a good idea. Let's just copy that, paste it in, and we'll just do a little bit of moving around. So obviously, we want the import statement at the top. Oops. There's a random thing there. We don't need to start a new class. We don't need to start a new main method. Oopsie. We can close off that. Let's see, are we happy? No, so if that little magic one goes red, it means that it couldn't clean it up because there's some kind of error in the code. I don't feel like debugging this, so I'm just going to ask JDoodle, the JDroid, our AI bot, to do it. So just hit debug code. It's probably just some curly braces that were in the wrong place. So awesome, I'll take it, thank you. Do we work? No. Aren't we working? What's up there? Okay, coolness. So it's going to ask for some input probably. Okay, it won't work currently because, of course, if it's asking for user input, it needs to be interactive mode. I'm not going to put in interactive mode right now, and I'll explain why in a second. So this stuff here, we will. Okay, I will explain right now why. So while preparing for this webinar, that we realized there was currently a bug that we're not able to use this awesome advanced IDE and interactive mode at the moment. So that works fine on the web, but the mobile just needs a couple of fixes for that. So what I'm going to do, unfortunately, is I'm going to have to just take all the classes and put it into one long file, and then we'll be able to use our interactive mode. So I'm just going to save this, and of course we're working on that fix. So hopefully within a week or two, that should be, hopefully next week already, that should already be possible to have full, you know, be able to use the advanced IDE and be running in interactive mode. We just can't do it right now. So to solve this, I'm just going to create a giant file here. Copy all that. Oops, I seem to have hit the play button. Okay. How am I doing for time? Ooh, pretty much out of time. Okay. Animal name class as well. Oops. It's using 3 fingers on the iOS to undo stuff. All right. Okay, we just need to move our import statements to the top. Yeah, these ones as well. Oops. Looks good. I'm going to save it again. Going to just change the name. Guessing game 2. Okay. case something goes wrong. And now let's select everything and copy it. That's not what I wanted to do. Select all, copy. Also not what I wanted to do. Copy, great. All right, and I'm going to start a new project and new empty project, and it's checking if I want to save, which I have done. So there we are. Let's go ahead and run this and see if it does compile and run. Class game is public. So we just need to make sure our classes are not public if they are sharing the same file. The only public class should be this one, my class. Okay, now it's not working, but that's because we need to use interactive mode, which I will. And let's see if it works. Okay, it's asking, it's asking for my name because that's what the AI provided us with before. And it's telling me hello H. So to kind of finish this project, we would basically have to create a while loop. There's the app. All right, let's see if we can finish this in the next few minutes. So we do want to check. We do want to get input from them, but we don't want to say enter your name. We want to say type a letter. Please guess a letter. And then we want to not call this name. We want to call this letter. And then we want to go ahead and call our guess method. And we'll put the letter in there. And then remember that the guess method returns a Boolean, whether our the input is like whether the letter is in the word or not. So let's say correct equals game.guess. Okay, so we can let them know then. So if correct, then we're going to say well done or something. Say well done, correct. And then we'll show them that print spaces method because, well, we'll show it either way. So if they get it wrong, then we'll say too bad. Oh no. And then either way, we'll say you have so many and so many have, and then we'll do a plus. How many left? Oops. Game dot. Where is our guesses left function in the game? Get total number. Get guesses left. It's called. So. Yeah. We're up here in our main method. get guesses left. Nice. And then we'll say plus. It's always a little bit of work here writing this stuff, but guesses left. Okay, let's try it. Might have an error. No. Okay, it's telling us, so that's nice. So I'll just say F. Correct, you have 6 guesses left. That's cool. I'm not sure why I have 6 guesses left though. Well, we might not fix it up right now, but it does appear to be the basic logic is working. I'll just hit tidy up again. Okay, that's another thing we want to do. We just want to do print spaces to give them that little visual representation of what they have tapped correctly right after we tell them how many guesses they've got left. Okay, try again. So it's bird. Obviously, they won't know in the real game. Okay, so it's showing the spaces correctly there. That's awesome too. So really, all that's left is to create a while loop around this. So to say, I'm just going to get rid of these ones. So we don't want to be telling them the word to begin with. We're going to be saying, I'm just going to ask the AI for it. An introductory print to read text to the guessing game. Oh, no, it didn't get what I meant. It said, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and... let's just change that intro to the guess the word game. Could have almost written it myself by now. Oh, well. What do we got? I'm thinking of a word. Can you guess what it is? That's awesome. All right. Can we copy that? Just take the part that we want, though. I'm going to copy it down the bottom so we can do a bit of copy and paste. Here we go. Welcome to the something or other. I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to flip my screen. Look, it's even created a little program for us. I'm going to copy that and delete everything else. Okay, and back to the top. So let's just check that. Welcome to the Guess the Word game. Think you're working, you guess what it is. Please guess a letter. Let's see what happens. I know you have 7 guesses left. Okay, that's pretty cool. There seems to be some logic wrong with the whole guess method. I'm going to tidy everything up real quick. But what I really want to do is just add a while loop. So please guess a letter. So we're going to introduce a while loop right here. We're going to say, well, first we're going to say string guess equals empty string. Okay, and then we're going to say while guess, oopsie, is empty. And then we're going to obviously loop through all this. Sorry, thinking incorrectly here. We actually want to say while game dot player has player won, has player lost. So as long as they haven't lost, and as long as they haven't won, then keep asking them a new letter over and over again. So where's our and symbol? Here, and we want has player won. Okay, so as long as they haven't won and they haven't lost, then loop through this, asking them for a question. And this might already be enough. Let's try it out. Okay, let's see. It should say, welcome to the guessing game. What's the problem? Tell me, JDroid, what the problem is, please. Okay, it's giving me a solution, but I'd like to just know the problem. The error message is indicating that the method has player one is not found. I have to say game dot has player one. I got it wrong with that one. So game dot, that should work. Welcome to the guess the word. All right, I'm going to guess G. Oh no, P. A. E, surely. What? I'm doing terribly. Not a single letter. It's got to be some. Okay, O is correct. So it could be wolf. I think it is wolf. But I ran out of guesses. You have 0 guesses left. Okay, I'd say that's our project done. Obviously, we clean it up a little bit, but it works. We can run this program and get user input, check whether the word is in the letter is in our word, and then ask them to keep guessing until they run out of guesses. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to call it webinar game, and it's saved. And now, as I promised before, I'm going to do this share here. I'm going to reshare it because I think we have to update it. Cool. So that's copied. I'll send that link to you, Melvi, if you could pass it on to everyone else. That's it. That's our project. Quick going back, we went through the different languages we have on JDoodle 88 and counting. We compiled a tiny piece of code that was just sort of brought up magically for us in Python. We got the AI to create a more interesting project. And then we created this whole project in less than an hour. So yeah, this is an example of what you can do with JDoodle. And as I said, we're always working on new features, and I'd love any feedback you have. Thanks for watching, and I'll pass back to Melvi.
Thank you so much, Nick. I think that was great. So like Nick said, if you guys have any feedback, good or bad, Discord is the channel. I shared the link in the chat below. So if you guys have any feedback, any sort of things, any queries also, or if you just simply want to pick Nick's brain on app development, you can do that on Discord. Quickly, JDoodle app is available on Play Store and App Store. You can search JDoodle on the search for both stores. Also, I will just quickly put in the links. We will also be sending a mail across with this particular webinar recording. So if you guys need to look back, watch back, you can do that. Also with the app links. So thank you so much, guys, for joining in. We will be having a lot of webinars in the future, so please do stay tuned on our social media. We keep posting stuff, so please follow us as well. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.